Malcolm, what's your word of the day? How do you see today shaping up?
Yeah, so my word of the day is chaotic. Kind of sticking with the theme of the last couple of segments in the show, specifically because the Trump administration rolled into town last month and inherited a really strong economy, a really strong labor market, a stock market that was poised to keep on running for another couple of years. But the approach to the tariff war so far has been pretty chaotic, with the stop and start, especially with our two trading partners to the north and to the south of us. And I think that is causing a little bit of concern among investors and has the potential to give back a lot of the positives that I started off talking about.
All right, so if you think it's chaotic, as your word of the day, you see chaos coming, then wouldn't, plays that kind of equate to certainty, wouldn't those be the smart moves right now? We were just talking about gold a minute ago. Gold up about 0.75%. Goldman out with a new price target on gold, 3,100, and then treasuries. What's safer than a treasury right now?
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as certainty in this market, right? But I do think that we should also consider the fact that in 2016, there were a number of industries that we thought were going to thrive under Trump 1.0 that ultimately weren't the sectors that ended up doing the best. That's part of the reason that a lot of investors have been lining up their chips to get into some of the more predictable things like energy. But I do think that realistically, there are a couple of places that the chaos is probably more likely to breed some opportunities than other places that are a little more obvious.
Well, Malcolm, do tell. Hit us with some of the areas you think are going to see opportunity from all this chaos.
Yeah, well, one of those, since you teed me up for it, is cybersecurity, right? So the aggressive stance toward China, we've seen what DeepSeek is capable of, or at least what they're willing to tell us about publicly, which also creates an opportunity for some bad actors to create different campaigns, different cyber threats a lot more cheaply and a lot more efficiently, which then means that we have to beef up our security on this side to be able to thwart those threats. And so I think that cybersecurity is a place that's going to get a lot more funding from both state and federal government agencies, as well as some of the bigger enterprises that need to make sure that they protect the house.
All right, so Malcolm, you've often come on, you've been very bullish on the sector of cybersecurity, but we want to get to your pick, which also reveals our mystery chart. Why are you making this pick today?
Yeah, so Palo Alto Networks is my favorite pick for the entire year. And the reason, one, I understand that the stock is selling off a little bit. Investors feel like it's gotten a little bit ahead of itself, especially with the latest earnings report. But the latest earnings report was the fourth in a row since they started using the word platformization that's actually proving the strategy has legs. They started giving away services to some long-standing customers to entice them to stick with them and sign longer-term contracts. And we're seeing that in the form of annually recurring revenue that has significantly increased since they started using that word. And so I don't know that this is necessarily the place you start buying this stock with both hands, but I definitely think that it's a place that if you don't own it, you do want to start making your way in from here.